Welcome to Chad the Homecare Guy. Real conversations about aging, home care, and the decisions families face every day. Hosted by Chad Fisher, founder of Avail Home Care. Because caring for the people you love shouldn't be confusing. Let's get started.
All right, guys. Hey, this is Chad. Chad the Homecare Guy with Avail Home Care, and I'm back today with a good longtime friend of mine, Katie Conway. Katie, I have met when I first got in the industry and started Avail. She was one of the very first people that I ever met and went to marketing groups with, and we've stayed in touch, done work together this whole time, 9 years now. So good to have you on finally.
Thank
this
you.
Is pretty cool. She's hard to get a hold of, by the way, people, because she's traveling around doing all kinds of stuff with this business. So mobile dermatology is what she does. And tell everybody a little bit about where you're from, a little background, and then how you got where you are right now.
Sure. So Katie Conway, Vice President, Mobile Dermatology Solutions. I moved to Florida in 2000 from Kailua, Hawaii. I started my healthcare career as a pharmacy tech and then an x-ray tech, and then did mobile primary care for 12 years. And I've been doing mobile dermatology now for about 2.5 years.
Yeah. All right. What exactly is mobile dermatology?
So the name kind of says it all. We're mobile, we're dermatology. So we go into nursing homes, we go into assisted living communities, independent living communities, and take care of everybody's skincare needs.
Okay.
No wounds, though.
No wounds. Okay. Why is bringing dermatology directly into seniors so important?
Because transportation is huge for
I
them.
think that's probably one of the best answers right there, because it really is. Transportation is going to be one of the hardest things. So to be able to get to them and be able to do everything.
And in the nursing homes,
Yeah.
for them to get out to a dermatology office, hopefully they have a bus that can take them, but then now they're sitting in an office. Sometimes staff has to go. So it's a real burden, not just on the patient, but on the facility.
Yeah.
Too.
Plus you get the white coat syndrome, and they're all just, they have the whole nervousness of having to get out and do all this and then sit somewhere and then wait and then, ride back home. And I remember giving rides all the time, and it was always the big talk when we're on their way there to wherever appointment we were going to, the nervousness, in between. So let's talk a little bit about why are seniors particularly so vulnerable to skin problems. Can you talk a little bit about what that looks like for you guys? Like the most common things that you see.
Sure. I mean, skin's an organ, right?
Yeah.
As we age, our skin ages, whether that's your skin tears and just your skin breaking down to years and years and years of sun exposure.
Especially here.
Yes. Lots of skin cancers,
Yeah.
lots of skin cancers. And then, it's pretty humid and gross out.
Yeah.
These patients don't always get a lot of movement. So a lot of fungal rashes are found in the folds and all of those ones as well.
Yeah. It sounds really fun, doesn't it? With skin cancer, what warning signs of, let's say, basal cell, squamous cell, or melanoma should never be ignored?
Any changes in your skin. You know your skin better than anybody else. I'm a great example. I don't present like most people would. I have had a melanoma, but it was called amelanonic, so no pigment. Okay. So it was just a white, unusual, reddish looking spot.
Yeah. Nothing you would look down and think that it was something, or were you worried about it?
Well, it didn't look like the rest of my skin. It looked different. So anytime something looks different, you want to get it checked out.
Okay. Common conditions. What are the most common skin conditions that you see in seniors?
Skin cancers, of course.
Yep.
Dry skin, lots of dry skin. Our seniors don't hydrate enough.
Yes. And
then unfortunately, the 4-letter word in nursing homes, scabies.
Yeah.
Gotta mention it. Sorry.
Yeah. And it happens, guys. I mean, we're in the business, so we hear about it more than most people would hear about it, but it's out there and it happens frequently, really. So it's hard to control.
Big, small, clean.
Yeah.
New.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It's everywhere, unfortunately.
Has no boundaries.
No, it does not. You have skin.
Anything that someone sees that might be mistaken for something else. And I've actually had this myself. I've got a spot right there that I always thought was something, but I go to the dermatology through the VA and constantly looking, and it turns out that this is nothing. But is this something frequent where you guys come in and people are like, I've got this and this and that?
Absolutely. Our providers are very well trained. They, by looking at something, they know if it's suspicious or not.
Yeah.
Anything that is suspicious, we're going to go ahead and biopsy it. Our medical director often says, I'd rather you biopsy 100 things that come back benign than not biopsy the one thing that comes back positive.
Yeah, I agree with that. Part of the VA, when I go to the dermatology, that's one of the things I don't like to do, because I know that they're just going to look at things and take samples and they're like, oh, they're freezing my face and freezing things on my ear. And I just, even though it turns out to be nothing, but it's nice to have it. To know that is great. Access to care. How does transportation prevent seniors from getting to the dermatology care that they need? I think you kind of answered this already, but the difference between getting out and going somewhere and then having on-site care. When you do on-site care, is it something where you can do just about anything in the home, or is there certain settings where they have no choice but to go somewhere and do something outside? And do you guys handle any of that?
Sure. So that was like a 3-part question there.
Yeah.
There are things we cannot do bedside.
Okay.
We can do a Mohs procedure.
Sure.
We don't have to live there on property to be able to do a delicate Mohs procedure. Anything that comes back melanoma, that's going to oncology.
Okay.
We don't mess around with melanomas. That always gets sent out. And then there's other, below the knee can be very challenging sometimes, just with vascular situations and healing. So we want to be careful there. And really, the face, we try to be careful. We don't want to be cutting up someone's face.
Right.
Even in our senior population, we still want to be careful. So a lot of those will get referred out to an outside dermatologist.
Okay.
And we do coordinate that care.
You do?
Yeah. We work with a lot of dermatology practices throughout the state, and ones we kind of have a better relationship with. So we'll refer them out.
Okay. And how does dermatology fit into the relationship between a primary care and a wound care company? Where do you see that join together?
Primary care is doing everything, a little bit of everything. We focus on just the skin, and not just the skin, but skin health, where wound care, they're wounds. Where we kind of stop is where wound care picks up.
Okay.
And we work hand in hand. There's times where wound care will come to us and say, we've been trying to heal this wound for months and it's not healing. Can you take a look at it? We come in and take a look at it, and it turns out it's a cancer. So of course it's not going to heal.
Right.
We come in, take care of it, and then everything's back to normal.
Okay, great. What caregivers can spot? So I want to know a little bit about what a CNA or an HHA or a nurse, even a family caregiver for that matter, what can they notice during an everyday care? So being in home care, we have people in the homes all the time, wherever that may be. What can they do and look out for? Is there anything that they should know about, or that would help people like me and my staff, to look at?
So if the patient can communicate well, they can let you know, like, this is new, like this wasn't here before.
Yeah.
If they can't really communicate, when your team is bathing or helping with those types of things, or changing even, if you see something change, the ABCDs of melanoma, if you see something getting larger, or the color starts changing, it starts getting painful or irritating, all of those things. So, even with a patient with dementia, if they're picking something new.
Gosh, and we see that all the time.
That could be something.
Okay. I remember even having someone, we had to bring in a doctor at some point to come in, because the client that we have had constant bruising, always banging up against the wall, and always thought that it was something that was skin cancer. Looking down and always thinking that this was, something's wrong with me. I need to see somebody. We're like, you don't need to see somebody. It's obviously a bruise, but it would happen so often that the paranoia was there of having skin cancer. Obviously, he probably had skin cancer previously, and that scared him. Or a loved one. Yeah. And that scared him into always thinking that he was having it. So aging skin versus normal, what's concerning, what skin changes are normal as we age. What's a normal trajectory of what happens throughout?
Your skin definitely gets thinner.
Yes.
So you're more prone to the skin tears. My mom, for example, if she bumps up against anything, it's torn, huge, bleeding everywhere. It's
mine too.
Horrible.
The dogs. Every time my mom walks in the door, she's the one person I have to make sure the dogs are down. Nothing happens, because instantly it turns into bloody mess, and barely getting up on them too. So I've got this right now from my dog, who barely touched me really, but that's pretty thin. I'm sure the skin up there is pretty thin, but it's going to be a while to heal. So looking at what the differences are with that. And then A little bit about the red flags. I think anything that's not normal is what you're saying. You should definitely go in and see somebody for that. What are senior care communities doing well when it comes to skin health? Anything that you're seeing in on any of the ALFs or ILs or anything that they're actually now putting forward?
So a lot of them are now requesting that we do annual quarterly skin assessments.
Good.
Just as an extra set of eyes. In the nursing home setting, a lot of wound care companies do a skin assessment upon admission, which is great. And now we're kind of an added layer because wound care is looking more for wounds. And we're looking more for the rashes, the skin cancers, the lesions. So it's always great to have extra eyes. And I think any patient benefits from having multiple people.
Too many eyes is great.
Yes. No such thing as too many eyes.
Yeah, exactly. What are we still missing? What's the missing pieces? What are people not doing well enough you want to see more of?
I would like more facilities to be open to dermatology. A lot of them say, well, we have wound care that does that, or primary care takes care of that.
Right.
But we're such a niche specialty, and that's all we do. So I think more communities and facilities being open to having us in there is only going to make your community better and make your patients, residents happier.
What do you think the misconception is why communities aren't as open? Is it just because I don't want to say the newness, because that's the question I should ask. How long has Mobile Derm been around?
So we've been around since about 2018.
Okay.
I've been around
long enough where they should know.
But they don't. I mean, and there's really not a lot out there.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of places have just gotten comfortable relying on their wound care or their primary care to do it because there were no other options.
Right.
Now there is.
Yes. It's great. You heard that, right? If you could give every senior family member or caregiver just a few things to remember about skin health, what would that be? Sunscreen would probably
I would say sunscreen. And even just a moisturizer at night. Your skin does lose its elasticity as you get older. So keeping it moisturized day and night with the sunblock during the day, and then just an overnight moisturizer at night.
Which is great when you're telling women, but for men, I'm guilty of it. I know my wife would say, you should be putting lotion on all the time, because I constantly complain of all that same stuff. But it's true. I think more men probably don't do that. I know that my wife will shower, and then that's part of the regimen to lotion.
Same. Yep.
I had never done that until not that long ago. I started a little bit as I saw changes, but it's probably one of the things that men should do.
In Florida, with as humid as it is, you don't notice it as much. But if you go out to Colorado or Alaska, somewhere where it's much drier, then you really notice how dry your skin gets.
Talk a little bit about how payment is taken care of for Mobile Derm.
So we bill the patient's insurance, Medicare Part B, or whatever supplement or advantage plan they have to be taken care of.
Private pay as well, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then talk a little bit about coverage of area.
The whole state of Florida, from Pensacola to Miami and everywhere in between. And as of last week, Utah.
Really?
Yes.
Going to Utah?
Yes.
That's amazing. Yes. Why Utah?
So Jordan, my partner on the East Coast, that's where he's from.
Okay.
He's got a lot of contacts, a lot of connections there. And it just made sense.
Really?
So,
that's
we'll
so
start
cool.
seeing patients September or October, but it officially launched last week.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Jordan, too. So before we wrap up, can you tell everybody a little bit about how to get in touch with you, what a good referral would look like, phone number, email, any of that stuff?
So our website is mobiledermsolutions.com. My email is Katie, Katie, mobiledermsolutions.com. Our office phone is 888-506-8838. And a good referral is really, I'd like to say anyone who has skin and lives in a nursing home or an assisted living facility. But really in the nursing home setting, the administrator, the director of nursing, social services, and then assisted living, kind of the same.
Okay. Well, that's great. I appreciate you having
Thank you.
having the time or taking the time, I should say, to come on and be on the show. It's been way too long. And when I started this, there's definitely some original core people that need to be on this podcast and have great information at the same time. So I appreciate you coming on and doing this and taking the time. And listen, you guys start taking a look around at your skin. it's what I'm going to do when I leave here as well. So, but if you have any connections, anything where you can pull Katie in, then feel free to reach out to her, and let's keep all this running. And I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and keep putting this information out. These resources are extremely, extremely good at what they do. And it's a gold mine that I'm providing here with all these people that I'm interviewing. So take full advantage of it. And until next time, I'll see you guys out there. Take care.
Bye.